Yeah, we'll touch on that in a bit.
Well, so listen.
Cool. You're cool.
Hey, we're always cool, man. Yeah.
Are we trying to do like a beer podcast?
Yes. Yeah, that's the gist of what's happening.
That part.
All right, welcome back to Hoppy Trails, and here we are for part 2 of the South Carolina adventure.
It was crazy.
It
was more than an adventure. It was a wild experience.
Yes. Yeah, it was a journey to say the least, and we had such a blast.
You had a journey.
You've already heard some of it from part 1, and then here we are with part 2. We're going to tell you about more of it. And I mean, there's even going through this, there's so much we didn't even talk about, and it's already so jam-packed.
Jam-packed. There was a lot that happened, and I think there was even some that we didn't even get a chance to talk about. So we'll probably recap a little bit on the next episode.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But it was so much fun. We can't wait for you to hear the rest of what we did record in this part 2 here. Nick, let's give a shout out to the patrons.
Billy, Robert, Carlos, Jared. Thank you all so much for helping us along on this Hoppy Trail.
Yeah, absolutely. We love having you on the trail with us. It really helps us, not only it's a little bit of money that helps us cover some of the expenses, but it's also, it really goes a long way to showing us that people like what we do. And it's that motivation to keep going and sharing everything that we have with you. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And with that, let's get to part 2.
Let's get it on.
Stay out late to gastrobate and hang out with our friends. We'll share a few good microbrews, the good times never end. From seaside to the mountains, we'll travel many lands. Eateth of their pub cuisine and hear their local bands. We'll drink it from a bottle in a can or what's on tap. We'll rage brew as we do with fairness and a map. Spirits are up, we'll fill our cup, the wind is in our sails. We'll drunkenly mix metaphors and travel happy trails.
All right, welcome back. You just listened to probably an interview. Probably one that was really amazing because we talked to some really amazing people this weekend. Don't know what it is yet. We'll decide that when we get to the editing room. But we talked to some cool, fun people. And what do you have something to share with the rest of the class?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Put your hands on the table.
Gentlemen,
Hold your hands.
Gentlemen,
We're sure where to put our hands.
Keep your damn hands to yourself.
That's all right. That's all right. Everyone hold a beer, and then you don't have to worry about what to do with your hands. That's what the beers are for. You've all been on the show before. What is happening? What is happening? Well, now that we're all back in line for the show, everybody ready? Yeah, good, because we're already rolling. This is all material.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's talk about
Action.
Let's talk about Saturday.
Fucking Saturday, bro.
Saturday.
We had a good breakfast at the hotel.
Quick breakfast at the hotel. It was very nice.
Added a nice, healthy base layer to what was about to annihilate us.
I'll tell you what. Ordinarily, I'm not a breakfast person. Ordinarily, I'm not. I go through the day and I
And
rock
that's what
through
I
it.
don't appreciate.
That's what you don't appreciate about me. I know that for a fact.
Man's got to eat.
But I am so thankful that we did. Because what we were walking into was a goddamn war zone, okay? And if you were not prepared, it was going to be rough. But
if you didn't eat breakfast,
I don't know where I would have been.
The day would have been over for you at 3 o'clock.
The day would have been over at that second pour that we got to, which we'll get to in a second.
See,
that would have been lights out. So we did, and then we rolled out to New Groove Artisan Ales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it
Artisan Brewery?
New Groove Artisan Brewery. That's right. We roll into the place right about time for the VIP check-in. And we were thrown right into the festival without really getting any time in the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are good to go. We're gonna
Welcome to Woodstock 24. Remember, always say yes to the happy ending.
And we walk in there, and I mean, what's it like, gentlemen? What's it like in this tent?
Well, first we had a hard time getting by the donut shop.
Yeah, I immediately zeroed in on it because donuts.
Yeah.
Even though we just had breakfast.
And even though we just had breakfast like an hour and a half prior.
A beautiful truck.
Yeah.
You could smell it around the corner.
Oh gosh, like I was wondering where that smell was coming from. And then we turned the corner and I'm like, glazed and infused.
Glazed
and infused.
I believe they're actually from I think Nashville.
Asheville.
Yeah. So they actually traveled a ways to come yesterday.
Yeah.
And boy, I'm glad that they did.
Yeah.
I got about halfway through the day there. We got there at around noon, started drinking around noon.
About noon we started drinking. Yeah.
And
you
then
disappeared.
because we had the VIP 1 hour early access, and then that went till what, 5 o'clock yesterday, or was it 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
And in that short window of time, it seemed like we were there for 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
Time
went real
slow.
Oh, yeah.
There's
but
a reason why.
the amazing beers that we drank did
Yes.
not go down slow. They went down really fast.
Oh yeah.
And so midway through, I just kind of disappeared from you
Yeah.
guys.
Right.
And I went and got myself a little thing of donuts.
We could say you snuck off.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
What did I do? Oh, because I think I went to the bathroom, and then I was walking out, and it just
Yeah.
pulled me over.
It's like the cartoons where the smell is like,
Yeah.
this
Like,
and
He flew it over there.
draws you in. Huey's like
Had I
this.
not had their donuts, because obviously I was not in a good place when we were leaving. But
No, you were in a great place.
I was in a great place. At least I could walk on my own accord. But yeah,
You walked into an accord.
Yeah. That's real. That's real.
Yeah, that happened. But those donuts saved me for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I got my favorite. They were like a Reese's peanut butter type thing going on there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
that was
good.
that was
They said they were
delicious.
so good. I didn't
Very
even know.
good.
Yeah.
Billy,
Yeah.
you had some of these donuts too, didn't you?
I did while you were busy talking.
I thought Billy doesn't eat donuts, but
I don't, but
they were just
it
there.
really, yeah. I mean that I don't usually eat sugar or carbs.
It was
but
it was Billy's
wish-
carb
I
vacation.
I wish I had Billy's willpower.
I couldn't.
I don't.
I couldn't stand it. But I had the blueberry infused fruity pebble glaze.
What?
No,
Wow.
cheese.
What?
Forgot about that.
It was so good.
all the sugar
All
and
the
red
sugar.
40.
I had more sugar in 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, it looked great. They had some good artwork on the truck and everything. We'll definitely see if we can get them on talk, little origin story and all of that.
Definitely.
But I mean, look, it wasn't the donut festival, right?
That's true.
Oh yeah, there's other stuff.
There was also some beer that was there, and so we went into this beer festival, and it was all wood age, right? Not barrel aged, because some of it was, oak spirals or staves or what have you, and a lot of it was barrels, but all wood aged beers. And what we ended up finding with the wood aged beers was, other than 2 beers, there was nothing under 10%. Is that accurate?
I
would
There
say
might have
so.
been 3 beers that were under 10%, but
There may have been
There's
one
a
that was
couple of
like a
5%ers.
9.9. There were 2 5%.
Round
yeah,
Percenters.
everything was above 10%.
It was
And-
hefty. Well, I don't know about the meads, but we walked in. Beer number 1 was from the Scottish Fellows,
Yeah.
Yes.
The brewery.
right? No, that was beer number 2.
That was good.
Beer number 1 was the Scottish Fellows, where they had the one with the Brettanomyces and one without the Brettanomyces.
Hey, that was
the Scotch ale.
That's they're in Chesapeake, South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's outside influence.
Yeah, both the fellows were in kilts. Both of them met at the local homebrew club and decided to put their project together. They had that Scotch ale, like I said, one without Brettanomyces, one with. And for everybody who watches, or if you don't, that is what gives you the barnyard funk, right? We talk about the sours, the ones that aren't really that. My baby would say, "Everybody ready for the barnyard dance?" So anybody who has small children, you know that book. This is a little different. It's the barnyard funk, and it's one of those things. Either you like it or you don't. It doesn't have that same sour that you get from like a kettle sour or a lacto or something like that. It has that little bit different, that funkiness. That's, as we were talking about yesterday, is almost like you're drinking the beer as it's poured off the side of a horse. And if that sounds good to you, you like Brettanomyces, you're going to love these beers. And if that doesn't sound good to you, you're probably not going to be into those beers. Yeah. Fair?
Kind of fair.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
Fair.
And so after that was
But
when
it
we went
was
to,
good.
It was good. It was
yeah,
great.
I mean,
I
I'm
had
from the
multiple
farm,
pours
so-
of it. We then go to the second pour, which is from a brewery called The Brewery. They were from California. They came all the way out. They made the same trip that we made to get out here.
Yeah.
And what did they bring with them?
Lord have mercy.
My
A well-known beer
goodness.
from them called Black Tuesday.
Black Tuesday.
But I know that there's
They couldn't
many.
advertise what it was.
It comes in
Right,
many
right.
forms. Black Tuesday.
Yeah, what was this form? it
because
came in?
that's what the brewery does best. Is
Yeah.
they do wonderful variations of a single beer, and it's almost like you're not drinking the same beer over and over. But anyways, this particular Black Tuesday was a 24. What?
24.4%.
That number's ingrained in my skull.
Right.
ABV.
Right.
Literally.
And that's, I think, where the downfall of the day was.
That's where
Yeah, the second stop.
That's where it snapped
This-
like, okay,
this-
we got to be mellow.
the
I will have
second
to be
beer.
mellow. I can't do 24.4 all day long.
Right.
quadruple barrel aged.
So here we've got Black Tuesday Imperial Grand Reserve. It's a quadruple barrel aged Imperial Stout running right around 24.4%.
24.4%. How are you getting the ABV up that high?
4 times barrel aging, plus we put it in barrels around 19 to 20%. We've got a proprietary yeast that really likes to make alcohol.
Absolutely. Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait. Cheers.
Cheers.
24.4%.
That's pretty incredible.
It warmed you from the inside like the fire of 1,000 suns, but also in a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
It was good.
It was good.
It was a good
It was
beer.
really good.
Way too easy to drink.
It was way too easy to drink.
I couldn't imagine
Absolutely
drinking
dangerous.
anything more than 2 ounces.
Can you imagine if you just had
Like an 8
access
ouncer?
to that? It'd be horrifying. You wouldn't even think about it. You'd be drinking it. Next thing you know, it's the apocalypse. You can't just give people access to that.
Right.
But it was very good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. And so we ended up, there were a bunch of breweries there. And we'll have, on the Instagram and like that, we'll show some stuff. We'll get some folks on to talk to them. Everybody, what's a beer that stood out for you? Robert?
I still got 24.4 in my head.
Yeah.
It's literally like number 2. Anything after that, I was like, oh, it's only an 11.
It's
Oh,
only,
15.
oh, what's this,
We've
15?
already done the 24.4.
Get out of here.
Pshaw.
Nothing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, it kind of, it really took up residence in your brain, doesn't it?
It did.
Yes, it
They should have
did.
T-shirts. 24.4.
It was. It was very good.
I survived 24.4.
That's it. I survived 24-4. The brewery, California. Billy, what jumped out to you?
I think it is, and Nick, you'll have to help me out with notes here, but it had almond in it. It was from Peach City.
Oh.
I'm starting to talk like you. What was that one's called?
And Billy, and that's what I appreciate about you.
Aaron and Brittany from Peach City.
Yes.
They had
Love Potion number 9.
Love Potion number 9, but tell me about it. You have notes.
Imperial Stout with pistachio, vanilla, and coconut, aged in French oak barrels.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
liked it a lot.
Now I remember because that was, I think, the only one I saw that was aged in French oak barrels.
Yeah, very few aged in French oak, a lot in American oak. One of the things that we did find from a lot of people is we say, hey, where'd you get your barrel from? Where'd you get your barrel from? And they were saying barrel broker a lot of times. So it was a barrel broker who would get them. Something that we heard from a few people is a lot of the distilleries don't want to have their name associated with your beer if you're just buying off the barrel broker or something like that. And a big part of that was, I would imagine if you're, Whistle Pig or something like that, you want to, when one of the big breweries comes in and says, I'll buy 100 of your barrels or 1,000, you can use our name because you're getting something back. Of course, for us, we feel like every little bit that you get is wonderful. That's all wonderful. So if somebody wants to buy 2, 3 of your barrels and use them, hey, whatever, let them say what barrels they're from. It's all good publicity. But we did find that quite a bit. The people would say, I got it from a barrel broker. I don't know who was in it. Sometimes they're, a wetter barrel. A couple of people talked about having enough inside to actually slosh around, right? But yeah, a lot of good barrel-aged stuff. And let me see. I wanted to talk about the meads, right?
Oh,
Is that the spin the...
Yes, indeed, sir. Yes.
The
that
Wheel
was
of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune for meads.
Was it Maniac or something? Yeah, Manic Meadery.
Manic Meadery. Okay.
They
How
had
did it
so
work?
many different meads there.
We did.
Because even in this notebook, it's just a variety of Manic meads.
Yeah.
But anyways, I really like their setup because they came to play, literally. They had a little spinny wheel with all of their different meads on it. One of the options was you pick. So then you get to pick which one you get to try.
Interesting.
And so you spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, that's what you're drinking.
That's what you're tasting.
And obviously, you can just cycle back in line and go spin again, however many times you want.
You could.
I don't recommend that. I only did that about like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you gotta be reasonable.
But they had easily like a dozen options to choose. My first spin, I walk right up. You pick. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, I'm getting that PB&J.
PB?
Dude.
When I spun it, that's what mine landed
Oh,
on.
lucky. But I lucked out too. So
crazy.
But that PB&J is something else. Like I just took a tiny sip, and it was like I took a massive bite of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yes.
I lost my shit.
The peanuts blasted you in the nose. It was
yeah.
What flavored jelly?
I think it was more strawberry.
I think it was a strawberry jelly.
That and
right?
because there was kind of a reddish tinge to the meat itself. But
I think.
I feel like grape would have stood out a lot more.
Sure.
And so that's what I'm saying, strawberry.
Yeah.
But either way, it just had that right. It wasn't overwhelming. It blasted you with peanut butter, but the flavor of peanut wasn't
overwhelming. You got it on the nose, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
It was good. And Robert, you had one of the meads, and Billy, you had some mead too, yes?
I did, and I did not win PB&J.
The other one.
I need to see the wheel up closer.
The citrus. It's like a citrus.
The citrusy one.
Yeah.
It
was
whatever you
sweet,
had.
but it had a little
also.
bite of citrus. Good.
It had a good combination. You gave me a sip of yours, and it had not just kind of lemony, but almost like lemongrass also, which has kind of a little...
kind of light.
Yes, very light, and it has like a little different aroma to it, but it was good. Which one did you try, Billy?
It was the same one.
Same one.
Because I won
Citrusy
mine
one.
right after you won yours.
Yes.
I won it.
I won it. Which makes it so much better.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Jelly.
It's the Wheel of Fortune, baby.
That's right.
That's it. Lady Fortuna. No, those were really good.
Yeah.
I loved those.
Did anybody have the Mrs. Stoutfire?
Yeah.
I didn't see
Because I just love the name.
No, I don't think I don't think I did.
Bourbon barrel aged sweet
I think it
stout
took us
with
an hour
Irish.
to get down to the
Ooh,
meat,
Irish
the
coffee
meat thing.
and
We were so
chai
far on
spice.
the one side for like an
Oh,
hour.
yeah.
Damn.
We had to work our way down to the mead side.
Well, it's
It
one
was
of those
complete
things.
difference than what we were drinking previously.
Oh, 100%.
It was a nice
The
little
meads were so
offset.
unique from everything else because it was so many of these barley wines and stouts
lots.
and red ales and things like that. So the meads were very different. But it's also one of those things where as you're working your way along, it takes you longer to get through that sample pour. You know what I mean? If you're at a standard beer festival, something like that, there's a lot of lighter fare, and you can just, oh yeah, that's good, knock it down, move on to the next, and kind of go.
Right.
And here it wasn't that. It was, it took you a minute. Some of these were, were a challenge. After that 24-4, man, you had to keep looking over your shoulder. One of these beers going to sneak up and club me? What is
Right on the
this?
back of the head.
The other good one from Manic Meadery that I really liked was the bourbon barrel aged apple pizer play on the sizer, which a sizer is a mead that's made not with water but with apple juice. And so that turned out really well. That was like you were eating some just warm apple pie.
I did not get to eat that one.
Like eating
or
a
drink that one, I should say. I didn't get to
You
drink
might
it.
as well be eating it because that's yeah.
Absolutely. Did either of you get to drink that one?
We did. I had it. Or I might have just drank some.
You might have had a little bit of mine.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Basically, we just handed off each other's glasses.
There was a lot of that going around. Hey, listen, we can't have a full pour of this, but let's trade here. What about the band?
The band was good.
Son of Stars.
Sons of Stars.
Yeah. Three
So
fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Stand-up bass.
Stand-up bass.
He was a badass.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
While they were warming up, he was busting out some Black Sabbath.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
It was good. Yeah.
I will say the stand-up bassist, I loved him. You could tell he was into the groove.
Oh, for sure.
He'd get into it with the beat, and he was on it. He was in it, and I loved it. The music was great. They also had was the little one. Not quite a.
No, it wasn't a mandolin. It was a.
That's what I was like. It's a very tiny. You know who's gonna know?
Ukulele.
Cody.
Ukulele.
Cody from the Least Haunted podcast. I'm gonna show him the video. He's gonna tell us, and then right here or maybe here will be words that say what type of instrument.
I thought it was a mandolin.
It may be.
No, this should be an insert of Cody talking about it.
There will be a little clip right here.
Hey everyone, this is Cody from Least Haunted. No, it's not. This is Travis from Hoppy Trails. And anyway, Cody was going to make a little insert here to tell us what this is, but unfortunately he is sick and I had a deadline, and so I will just tell you it's a mandolin, which Cody is a master expert, trained symphony orchestrist, or he's not. He's a regular dude, but he plays a mandolin, knows a lot about him. And if you want to hear him tell about them, you have to wait for the video release and go watch it on YouTube. And then you'll see his beautiful face, hear his actual voice, and oh, wait, anyway, I've been long enough. Back to the show.
Of Cody saying what it is. Did you hear him? Did you hear him say it? Yeah, there it is.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you, Cody. Now back to you in the studio. And then they also had what was the third?
Guitar.
The guitar, but it was an acoustic guitar,
acoustic,
and he had it going through a wah-wah pedal a couple of times.
Yeah.
They had some good stuff. They were doing a really good job.
Bluegrass, right?
Bluegrass. Yeah. Very fun. It was great. And we talked to a lot of people. A lot of people that were really passionate about what they were doing. It's made me really happy. A lot of people that had a lot of really good, strong opinions about craft beer and where it's going and what's next.
And you all camped out for a good bit at Kite Hill.
Kite Hill Brewing.
Yes.
Yes.
I had the adjunct professor, which was really good.
I had the bourbon barrel aged banana phone.
Oh, yes.
That was so good. Oh gosh. Now that I'm remembering all of this stuff now, it's coming back. I'm really having a hard time deciding what was my favorite. Because there was just so many. I feel like this was definitely one of them up there. This was a banana bread inspired imperial stout made with dried Thai banana, toasted walnut, and cinnamon.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
That was good. Absolutely. Another great set of guys that we met there that we're definitely going to have on and talk to. We got some pictures together with them.
Yeah.
Because ironically, one of them, his name is Travis.
Yeah.
And the other guy's name is Nick.
Yeah. Travis and Nick.
Travis and Nick.
We ran into brewers named Travis and Nick. It was the craziest thing. Charleston, yeah.
In Charleston. So
and then it's called used to be a distiller.
Charlestown Fermentory.
Yes.
Is the name of their brewery.
Yeah, you'll see some pictures on social media.
Yeah. They had some great ones as well. There's barrel aged Sub Rosa. I believe the Sub Rosa is one that they do normally.
Yes.
This one obviously was, in particular, was barrel aged, and that's a strong ale that's aged for 12 months in high wire sorghum whiskey barrels.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
Complex flavors.
I'm telling you, very good, very good. And a sorghum whiskey is, of course, they're using sorghum. Which is something that is often made like a syrup or a molasses out of, something like that. Be almost similar to like a cane sugar molasses, but it's something you can use in distilling, or you can even use it in fermenting when people want to make a gluten-free beer. Oftentimes they'll go with a sorghum as the fermentable sugar, ends up gluten-free. But sorghum is not as common in the West Coast, but is more common in the South, although it's nowhere near, obviously, the popularity of regular maple syrups and regular cane sugar molasses and what have you.
Yeah.
Billy, as our Southern man, how much sorghum syrup do you consume on the average day?
I wouldn't say I consume a lot on the average day, but it's definitely popular here, sorghum molasses.
It's something you're familiar with, whereas many of the people on the West Coast may not have even ever heard of it. Yeah.
So that makes it that much more special.
Yeah.
It was.
Absolutely.
Another beer that they were offering for kind of a limited amount, I think. I believe what we got was off of the last bottle that they had.
Yeah.
And it was actually a delight to have. It was still a barrel aged, or was it a barrel aged beer? It was a framboise that they make though.
Yeah, sounds good.
And that one had a nice level of acidity that it was so helpful. Like by the time we got to them, I'm pretty sure we at least had tried 8 or 9 different beers at that point.
Yes.
And with any barrel aged ale, usually you're gonna get this just coating over time.
Yes, you do. Yeah,
it's a bit, kind of syrup-like.
The oak tannins start to coat your tongue.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they start to coat your brain.
Yes,
as well.
It's like a tannin fog.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But so having that particular beer that they brought, just kind of share, was really pleasant to have because that just. It was a palate reset.
Yeah, a full reset.
Yeah, there's a couple of those palate cleanse. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of just boom, offset all the
for sure.
Oh yeah,
heavy duty stuff.
Fizz might be too strong of a word, but
it did have a little bit of a fizz.
Had a little fizz to it.
Which nice. when you're going with a lot of the barrel age and the wood condition like that, you lose a lot of that, right? I mean, because they're not going for heavily carbonated with those, and when it's in the barrel, it loses a lot of that. So. Yeah, having something that had that higher carbonation level was almost like a little shock to the system.
Refreshing.
Yep. Very refreshing.
Yeah. As were a couple of others, we had that what was it, a rice lager that we ran into?
That was let me pull up my notes here. That was from Juke's Ale Works.
Yes.
And that was their Boken Japanese rice lager.
Right.
Fermented and lagered in third-use white oak barrels.
Yes, yeah, and the white oak, very mild, didn't impart very much to it. It was light, it was refreshing. It was the beer we were taking a break with.
Yes,
right.
That was a very nice break.
This year I'm just on break right now. Let me just knock it down. But it was good. It was crisp. It was nice and clean. Loved it.
No, because then next the beer that I had from them, it was something that they were offering to the VIPs, and I think they had a little bit left because it was one that's not listed on the book here from them. The Life Passes Like a Shadow that they did, which is English style old ale.
That was good.
That was really good. Their Bayonet Volume 2, which is English style barley wine. Aged 19 months in single Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, and look, Life Passes Like a Shadow, 14.2.
Yeah, 14.2.
Bayonet Volume 2,
13.7. Yeah.
I mean, these are.
But the one that they also had there that I had the opportunity to try was the Double Barrel Abysmal Mouth.
Yes.
That comes in at 14. That is another English style barley wine that was aged 11 months in special barrels, which first held Heaven Hill bourbon, followed by a well-known barley wine brewed by a titan of the industry out of Chicago, and then maple syrup from Mackinac Maple Farms.
Yes.
Dude,
that's right.
This thing was incredible, and I think this is ultimately the one that pushed me over the edge for the day.
Well, and listen,
that's totally okay. It was worthwhile.
What we're talking about
over the edge.
What we're talking about with these barrels, this is an important thing that you don't see a lot of all the time. But the repurposing of the barrels, each item that's in it adds a little bit to it. And so what I've seen before is people who are making, home barrel-aged cocktails. A lot of times they will have a system of taking a small barrel, and they'll give it a week with this, and a week with that, and then a week with something else, and a week with something else. And all of this is in preparation for the liquor you're finally going to put in there, which is going to have touches and hints from everything that was in the barrel beforehand. And a lot of those things are taking some of the woodiness, some of the oak, some of the greenness out so that you get a more mellow and subdued woodiness, but you're also picking up those characters of everything else that has been in it, which is very interesting because beer, years ago, I read an article and they were saying, like, look, beer is just water that has picked up hints of the friends that it made along the path, right? It's water. It was with some grains, but then the grains are gone, but it picked something up that it carried with it. It was with some hops, but then the hops are gone. It was with some, and each of these things changes it and influences it. And it's the same way with these barrels, is that everything that's touched this barrel is going to add a little something to whatever's in it. And I thought that was really cool because it had what was the first alcohol that was in it? It was Something Hill.
What?
Something Hill whiskey was in it first. And,
that was Heaven Hill bourbon.
Heaven Hill bourbon, and then followed by a barley wine that they didn't name who it was, but a large, well-known barley wine. And then after that was a maple syrup that was aged in the oak, and then it went to this beer.
There's actually a bit more.
Ooh.
Well, it goes on to say here, after the rest in the first barrel, the beer was transferred into a freshly emptied Woodford Reserve single barrel pick provided to us by our pals over at Big Dog's Beverage. 17 months in this barrel provided a rounded bourbon character dripping with spirit-laden toffee, caramel, dark fruit, and all the goods one would expect from such a prized barrel and a decadent 14% platform.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Just like that beer.
Absolutely.
It was amazing, though.
Absolutely. Gentlemen.
Well, I didn't get that one but right beside them, while you all were tackling that, I had the dragon. Dragons with fire.
Dragon with matches.
Well,
that was from Incendiary Brewing Company.
Dragon with matches. Yes, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember having it, but I can't for the life of me think about
Belgian quad, aged 27 months in Weller barrels and 15 months in Buffalo Trace barrels.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Remember it now.
Yeah. Now that you've read it to me, I remember all the words you just said.
That's what I read before I poured it down my gullet.
I remember the words you said, yes.
Talk about the creativity in naming. It's from Incendiary Brewing, so that works. It matches.
It matches.
Billy got the jokes today.
That's what I appreciate about you, Billy.
Oh, is that what you really appreciate about
That's what I appreciate about
you. On fire. I'm on fire.
Yes.
I stole that.
Fire. Get out of here, you two. My God. Anything else that stood out to anybody? I mean, everything did. Everything did. There were so many good. We could spend an hour talking about.
Well, remember we went inside. We did go inside.
We did go inside. We got an interview which you'll probably
easy
see.
IPA to mellow myself out.
Yeah, that's right. You kind of get squared up, right?
Brisket nachos.
We had those. Well, and the nachos were unique because they weren't on nacho chips.
No,
they were on potato chips.
Right.
Yes, I mean you had like a fork was involved here.
Yes.
Yeah, because those chips don't stand up as well to having a bunch of things on
That's
them.
totally fine because the aspect there is just the crunch.
Yeah, the crunch,
the potato chip,
crisp,
and it was
salty,
so good.
Got the job done 100%.
Yeah.
And how was their brisket?
Delicious.
On point, right?
It was.
It was very good.
By the time you got to the dish, we'd already eaten all the brisket out of it.
I know it. I get done doing an interview and they're like, "Hey, you want some leftovers?" Which
I was looking for
still
brisket.
good nacho cheese on those chips. It was delicious.
It really was.
And how was that hazy?
Oh, it was lovely.
It was
a palate cleanser too.
Hazies I've ever seen. Yeah, palate cleanser, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
man.
it was 1/4 of that 24/4.
Yeah, yes.
Basically water. So basically water.
Kind of.
It was for hydration, is what we used it for. Yeah.
And Nick's just blown away by all the musical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hazy was
the names of the.
Oh yeah, all the the NXS hazy.
Yeah.
So I like the they were rocking a music theme there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I know, Robert, I'm doing the interview, and I'm lost in the reference, and you threw something out. I'm yes, what he said, and then later you're like, no, that was the fucking reference that you were missing. And I'm like, I missed it. Damn it.
I told him, I said, don't change a thing for me.
Yeah. I was like, don't change a thing. I completely missed it.
He got it.
Horrible. He knew. Yeah. Yeah, you'll see that interview. It's good. It's good. But that was, I mean, it was a good day. It was a good, strong day.
Really
Here's the deal. We have more to talk about from that day. Maybe some things to touch on. I have to pee really bad, and so we're going to take a break.
Technically, you can keep talking.
While you're peeing. Oh,
I mean, I can.
Your mic.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
can. I'm not going to. For your sake. For your sake, I'm not going to. We're going to take a quick break. There'll be another interview right in here, and then we'll come back and we'll tell you about the rest of our trip as far as it's been up to tonight. So,
cool.
Stick around. All right. So, Hoppy Trails, we do a little podcast about beer and food, things we love. And here we are. What's this amazing place that we are?
So, welcome in. You guys are at Fire Forge.
Yeah.
We won Best Brewery in Greenville, Best of the Upstate this year.
Wow.
A few other awards.
Yeah.
Our beers have been winning a lot of awards. So yeah, we're happy you guys are here to check it out.
Yeah. Absolutely. John, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I want to make sure I get that for everybody. So anybody who's watching, come in, talk to John. He's pretty amazing. And yeah, so tell me about this and how did this get started and how'd you get involved?
So our owners, they've been into craft beer for a long time. Originally, they were thinking about opening a brewery in Florida, wound up back in Greenville, and they were in a home brewers group, and eventually we're like, let's let's do this thing. They're both in the corporate world before, and we're in our 6th year. It'll be 6-year anniversary in a few months.
Very cool. Yeah, you say that they came out of the Home Brew Club. We were over at the Woodstock 24 festival yesterday at New Groove. There were so many people that we talked to that was the origin story. Like, we were in a home brew club and, you know, decided let's take that next step. So that's such a cool thing. And I mean, that's, I think, the way a lot of people do get into it, you know, having that dream and then finally taking the step.
Yeah, even another member of their homebrew group, they opened a brewery in Clemson called Kite Hill, which is another great place to check out.
Excellent.
So yeah, it seems to be a common thread for
sure. Well, and we're back in the brewing area. What size rig do we have here?
Yeah, so we have, it's all 7-barrel systems. We try and keep up with how much beer people drink in Greenville. There's certainly a lot. And we just sell in the tap room. We haven't gotten into distribution or anything yet. But yeah, man, they're always rocking it out back here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the beer near me, which is a Marzen, right?
Yeah, that's a Marzen. Last year we called it Novemberfest. We do our Oktoberfest.
Excellent.
Then we do a November and then a Febtober, and they get maltier each time. And that one won, that recipe won a gold medal in last year's World of Beer, which we were very proud of for sure.
Clearly it won because it's delicious.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't get an 8-ounce, but we're limited on time, so we'll make do.
Yeah, it's always good when you can get into you know, some of the craftier breweries, because we do see so many of the larger breweries, even ones that started craft but have grown. Sometimes they'll put some of these beers out like a Marzen. There's one brewery I'm thinking of that I had a very bad experience with their Marzen because I think they just wanted to check the box and have one. But this, it sounds like a very good beer and winning awards.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. What's your favorite style that you guys are putting out?
Oh man, I mean, I've been drinking a ton of that one. I think we have like a keg and a half left. But I'm drinking the Saved by the Belma, which is a cold IPA.
Yes.
Super dank.
That's what I've got.
A ton of this. You've got the John Hopcock.
Oh, I have the, that's right.
Which is our flagship beer.
I like that.
Yes, that's right.
That's our flagship. It's won a ton of awards, and you know, people get a little upset if we're ever between batches of Hopcock. We gotta have Hopcock on all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very good. Yeah, definitely crushable. And this is what, 6.5?
6.5,
yeah. So easy, you can have a few of these in a session.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny that I think as ABVs have gone up, what we think of as a session beer, that's gone up as well, to where now it's like 6.5? Yeah, you have a handful of those.
Sessions are just a little bit shorter now than they used to be.
That's it. Just comes in the shorter glass, yeah. All right, well, very cool. And you said that everything's being sold across the bar. That's a great way for breweries. Obviously, the highest profit margin is selling it across the bar like that.
We do our own canning stuff. This is, I mean, you probably can't see it, but right here is our canning line.
Yeah.
We sell 4-packs. We can fill crowlers, growlers. So yeah, we're just doing all at a house right now, for sure.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, this is awesome. We've been having some great beers. We love the whole area. I mean, it's been a very busy weekend for us.
Sure.
Not only a lot of breweries, but a lot of really good breweries.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the beer scene currently here and where things are going in craft beer in this area?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, we have a ton of breweries, like I'm sure you guys have seen driving around, and it's not a competitive beer scene either. Like, we have breweries that might come in and use our keg washers if they need to, or we can call up other breweries and ask, like, hey, we didn't get our malt or whatever it is. And it's super friendly.
It's a real
yeah,
community.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun being in beer in Greenville, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. Well, what do you guys have coming up soon? Anything people can expect?
Yeah, so next weekend, or I don't know when this comes out, so that'll be the 11th. We have our Mardi Gras coming up.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be a fun day. Special food menu. We also make incredible food here in-house.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But we got all kind of events all throughout the year. We just had one of our biggest parties every year, which is Gasparilla, which is the pirate invasion party that our owners used to live in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's a Tampa thing,
Yeah.
and they brought it back here. So there's just people in pirate outfits, and you know, we've got, it's always a fun party every year.
Yes.
That sounds amazing. That sounds great.
Yeah, you can check out fireforge.beer, and all of our events will be listed there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we'll get you guys tagged up on social media and everything like that. You know, we don't have the hugest following yet, but we'll send everybody your way.
We appreciate it.
Usually we end these things out by reminding everyone to always say yes to the hoppy ending, and we'll give you the honors if you want to do the reminder.
Yeah, I mean, say yes to the hoppy ending. Cheers. Come check out Fireforge.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chin
Cheers,
chin.
y'all.
All right, welcome back. You all just came from another one of the interviews that we did. Probably something wonderful. I know they all are. And we have been over here chatting and reminiscing about
what happened after Saturday afternoon.
What happened after the festival.
Yeah.
And what happened after the I mean, we were warned. It took a lot out of us. We did meet up with a couple of podcasters there.
We did. Yeah. Upstate Beer Boys.
That's right.
Yes. Great guys.
Yep.
Look forward to doing some collaboration with them.
Yeah.
Here in the near future.
We actually we ran out real quick. They pulled their phone out. We did a quick 10-minute record. So you'll see that somewhere. Who knows? But
at some point. But yeah.
They may have.
Or they.
Yeah, you may have seen it. Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll find out after editing.
Or after this is released.
That's right.
But excellent guys.
Cool guys.
They just welcomed us right in. I
Absolutely.
guess word got out that we were showing up somehow. And so whoever did that, thank you.
You're welcome.
And
but I mean, Billy told the entire state person by person before we got here. So
I did. I spent a week Instagramming them.
Billy is our hype man, 100%. Yeah, that's right.
And so so these guys had already. They came up to us and introduced themselves, and I'm glad that they did. And look forward to doing more with them.
Yeah, more
replicating that cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that
was a pretty sick cowboy hat.
Steve's cowboy hat was something else, covered all in those beer stickers.
All the beer stickers.
Oh, excellent work.
Yes. Yeah. So we left there, and we made a couple of detours here and there, back to the hotel. Came over here, right? Met our gracious hosts, hung out for a bit. But we had a dinner reservation that we had to make. Where was that dinner reservation?
We were at Crib's Kitchen.
Crib's
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Which is physically connected with RJ Rockers.
Yes.
RJ Rockers, yeah.
RJ Rockers, yeah. And it was a nice place. Good spot as we were going in. You know, I was like, Billy, am I dressed okay? Because, as you know...
You were very worried about that.
I was worried about it because, Billy, you look nice and I, look like how I look. And I don't want to embarrass you in your hometown. You take us to a nice place and needs a reservation, right?
Yeah.
But
and I said, trust me, I would never take you in somewhere where you would embarrass me.
There you go. That's why I appreciate you, Billy. But we did. So we went into Crib's Kitchen, and what a cool spot.
Yeah, it's great.
Very cool spot. Good environment. A lot of great people there. And we got some good food. I got to do a couple of firsts, right? The creamy shrimp and grits.
Yes, shrimp and grits.
Super creamy, wonderful. Those were a delight.
Delicious.
Brussels sprouts again.
Yeah, we have Brussels sprouts everywhere.
Again.
Everywhere.
We had palmetto. We had pimento fritters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those were good
which
too.
Is pimento cheese, something else we had at every meal.
Yeah, we've had a lot of pimento cheese.
We had pimento cheese today too. We'll
yes,
talk
we did.
about that a bit.
And you had your first fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, this first fried green
Quality.
tomatoes.
Very good. Very good. I like them. They were nice and crisp, very crisp, and the inside not super tart. If you think of a green tomato, you think tart, acidic, like that. But no, they were nice. They were smooth. They had that, little bit to them, so you knew what it was. But soft, very nice.
And on a bed of grits, of course.
Yeah, everything was on a bed of. I slept on a bed of grits while I was out here. It was delightful. And
everything's on a bed of grits.
I'd wake up and roll over and just nom 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 nom, then back to sleep.
Grits,
wonderful.
And they had some tasty collards too. But you had eaten so much by that point. I'm not sure you were able to finish the collards.
I wasn't. I was not. I also had a ribeye. I was not able to make a dent in.
I had a ribeye.
You had a ribeye.
You had half of my ribeye.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah. And because you ordered.
I thought you ordered a steak.
You ordered fried chicken.
Oh, that's right. You
had
ordered fried chicken.
I had fried chicken.
Not chicken, but you had fried chicken.
It was a long day.
Yeah.
See how we're trying to, I don't know what I ordered. We had a very long day.
I remember what I ordered.
Do you?
It was a berry pop and smash. So it was like a spicy berry cream cheese smash burger.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All of those words you just put together, I don't expect to be together.
Yeah, no.
How was it?
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Put it all together, smash it. It's
it smashed it all up. It was good. It was good.
And great service as always at Crib's.
Absolutely.
Of course.
That guy was on top of it for sure.
Robert, what did you have?
I just had a burger. I had double patties.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Nothing fancy.
End of a festival like that, you get a double burger, you can have a good time.
It's what you need.
It is.
Sure.
It is. But that was it. I mean, it was a long day. That we spent a couple hours there at dinner, doing our thing, slowly going through, trying different stuff. It was a blast.
We had some crazy chocolate cake. Nick and I did since this weekend. I'm eating sugar, and so
carb holiday. Yeah, that's right. Carbs don't count.
We had some.
Wait, where was that chocolate cake?
At Cribs.
Yeah. But I got a shake.
That means you got a shake and you ate half of my chocolate.
There was a lot of people eating half of Billy's stuff. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's just giving away desserts.
We're like, look, it's a carb holiday, Billy. You don't have to celebrate it, Billy. Give me half of that cake.
And this is why Billy has such a great figure, because he just lets everybody eat half of his
That's
stuff.
right. That's right. How was that chocolate cake?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It had a really cool name. And it has a really cool name that I can't. But we have to give props to all of our Uber drivers.
Putting up
The
with
Uber
us.
drivers took care of us.
They were so great.
They
100%.
were. They were absolutely great.
Amazing conversationalists, giving us recommendations
They didn't
about
get to say
things.
anything. What
No.
are you talking about? You were the one talking. You're the amazing conversationalist.
What are you trying to say?
Drive to the front seat. Keep the driver busy.
That's what they did. They kept
The
throwing me in the
choco
front
flan.
seat, and then I would chat with our drivers. We had a good time. It was wonderful. Got some recommendations about some things.
We did it.
Yeah. No, good folk. Every one of our Uber drivers was great. As you know, we all like to go out, drink, have a good time, but we always recommend don't drink and drive because, come on, it's not worth it. It's just not.
Yep.
You get an Uber, it costs you next to nothing, and let them drive for you. That's what they're here. That's what
Hell yeah.
they're out there doing. So, but that was it. I mean, it was a solid day. We went back. We went to sleep.
Passed out.
And we got up this morning.
Yep.
And we said, by golly,
let's get back at it.
Let's get back on that horse.
And no better place to start than Waffle House.
Waffle House!
Hell yeah.
Travis and Robert's first time at Waffle House.
Yes, sir.
Was it?
It was
shock.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was my first time to a Waffle House in the South. Previously been to one in Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
How'd they compare?
That don't count.
Yeah, no, definitely. This was much better.
Too far outside the radius.
This was much better.
Outside the perimeter.
Yeah,
That's right.
The
That's
waffles
right.
definitely were, held together a lot better. But
and the service was amazing.
Yeah, the service was
Well,
amazing.
let's start it off. If you know what a Waffle House
Thomas,
is,
that was his
Thomas
name.
was great.
Thomas was awesome.
outstanding. Now, if you know about a Waffle House, you know it for one of two reasons. Either you know it because you've been to a Waffle House and you know what it's about, or you know it from social media and you know what can happen sometimes when shit gets out of hand. And shit gets out of hand sometimes.
Yeah.
Places.
Yeah.
That's at 3 a.m.
But that's the thing. If you've got a lot of locations and you're open super late, then something's going to happen often enough that it makes it social media. But that's not what the experience was. We had a wonderful time.
Not at all.
What's Waffle House about, Billy?
I don't know. I think it's about hospitality.
Yes.
They're always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hash browns are amazing.
Crisp,
Yes.
consistent.
You say always nice. Literally, we all walked in the door at the same time, and everybody behind the kitchen bar turned around. Hello, how are you? And all at the same time
Every person
in harmony. Like,
Yep.
what did I just walk into?
Oh, yeah.
That was not at the Arizona one. So that right there, out of the box,
There's a big sigh when you
already
walked
makes
in.
it that
That's
much
right.
better.
Yeah. Fucking again.
I
Fucking
walked
again.
in feeling like, oh, I'm home.
keeps coming.
Like, yeah.
And it really was. And Thomas was amazing. He was on point. He was there. Everything. Told us, our first time, and he was like, "Well, let me, walk you through everything." Super friendly. Checked in on us all the time. But you walk in there and it's you don't expect it because here's what it's offering: food and atmosphere, and then here's what it's offering from the staff and you know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So you don't expect it. End of the day, what are you looking at? You're looking at breakfast foods. They have non-breakfast foods as well.
Oh, yeah, they have great.
Burgers, and steaks, and chickens, and what have you. But you walk in there, what you're looking at is you're looking at hash browns, waffles, eggs, toast, grits,
more grits,
bacon, sausage,
and obviously waffles.
And waffles.
That's what you're looking at there. But it's one of those things that I feel like you know what you're going to get every time, right?
I know what I'm going to get every time.
It hits the
hash
spot.
browns, smothered, covered in chunks.
Smothered, covered in chunks.
Right.
All right. And now
And a waffle,
each of
and
those
eggs and bacon.
Each of those words means something. And if you don't know what they mean, you don't go to Waffle House. You need to look it up.
That's right.
I, not knowing what it meant, I waited till Billy ordered, and I said, I'll do one of those. And it came out beautifully.
Yeah.
Nick, what'd you get?
I got this sausage hash brown bowl, basically. And I got mine, was it smothered?
You got it smothered.
Smothered, covered,
peppered.
So it had pickled jalapenos on it.
And gravy.
Oh, yeah. And then what's
I think you did all the sides.
Yeah, no, I didn't do all of them.
You didn't do chili.
I didn't do chili.
Dice, didn't do the tomatoes,
but,
right?
oh, damn. Yeah, I have to come back, definitely do like the ultimate bowl where it's like all the smothered, covered, blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
everything.
And the everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll put a picture of me up on the wall.
Right.
Robert, what did you have?
I was pretty basic. Scrambled eggs, bacon, toast.
That waffle wasn't basic, though.
Yeah, had to have the waffle
the
with
blueberry waffle.
Blueberry waffle.
Yeah,
that was good.
It was a good combo.
Yeah, it was very good. Everything was good. It was a good way for us to kind of, put a hard reset on what happened to us the day before.
I walked into the Waffle House feeling I don't think I'm gonna have anything to drink today. And then I walked out of.
I said those words.
You had told me prior. I'm not eating breakfast.
I said
I'm eat anything.
Terrified of what'll happen if food goes in me.
But Waffle House, if you've been to Waffle House, you'll agree. It recharges you to continue drinking.
Yes.
That's why it's so popular.
I walked out of Waffle House feeling renewed, ready to take on the day.
New man.
Of not nearly as much drinking as it would happen yesterday, but definitely enough to have to enjoy the day.
Start again. I was washed clean. I was baptized in bacon and hash browns.
Yeah, and really, for me, one of the treats of Waffle House that no one ever talks about is their coffee. It's so good.
Yeah,
of course, I'm the only man who drinks black coffee at this table.
I drink black coffee as well.
Oh, okay, good.
Just you and I.
Just not them.
And I'm going to throw us out here.
I do drink black coffee, but only when I make it at home.
I drink black coffee, but put cream and sugar in it. It starts out.
I know Robert's like that. That's the only color coffee comes in. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Fuck you guys.
But yeah, their coffee. They just have a really good
edited coffee.
They do. They actually, and I'll throw this out here. You don't expect it. You go in, you're like, all right, this is kind of, dinery, kind of,
When we sat down, they were all out, and Thomas went and fresh brewed
He
us
made
some.
a fresh pot, and it's good coffee. Like real talk, it was good coffee. Yeah, I sipped that down. It was wonderful. I wish I had more, but no, it was good. It was a good coffee, 100%. So that's what got us started.
Our base.
Where did we go?
Base camp, if you will. And then from there we go to Greenville.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Where's Greenville?
Greenville is about 20 minutes south of Spartanburg.
Yeah.
Spartanburg is about an hour south of Charlotte. Greenville is about 3 hours north of Atlanta. Anyway, you can figure it out from there.
Sure.
I mean,
I will. I'll pull it up on the map. I'm not going to figure it out. That's terrible. What are you talking about? I'm lazy.
But yeah, Greenville, just a beautiful city like Spartanburg.
Yeah.
A little bigger than Spartanburg. We just went straight to 8th State, which is one of my favorite breweries.
Yes, we did.
We had just eaten, so we didn't get to eat anything there, but they have really good food as well.
Yeah, no, we didn't get to eat anything there, but I will say that I was very happy with the atmosphere. Yes. It was, not a lot of bright lights, mostly the sunlight filtering in they had a lot of windows, a little bit of lights inside, but it was very calm.
Yep.
A lot of plants and
very
things
relaxing.
Hanging. It was super relaxed, which I think is what we all needed.
We needed that.
We were in that.
Yeah, it is a very
ease
chill
into the
spot.
day.
We were still digesting, right?
Yep.
And it was perfect.
Yeah,
have
it's
a couple
old
of beers.
Clausen's Bakery building.
Yeah,
And
that's
really,
right. It's so an old like production bakery.
Right.
Yeah.
So those guys are great. I always try to stop in when I'm free.
Yeah, and we absolutely do need to get them on and talk to them because it was wonderful when they did give you that interview. They weren't there today, and so we didn't get to spend some time with them. But we'd really like to. They make good beer.
Oh,
and they've got a good atmosphere, and that's
mashed tater lager.
All right. Yes. All right. I know that sounded weird. Nick didn't just have a stroke. Okay. Tell everyone what the fuck that means before somebody calls 911.
Mashed tater lager was apparently lagered with fingerling potatoes and French fries.
Yes. Yeah. I swear to you. We asked the guy, I'm sorry, is this a side dish that comes with a lager? What is happening right now? And he explained it. No, they actually used the fingerling potatoes and then threw the French fries in to add what he said was the toasty crispness.
It's made with purple, red, and yellow fingerling potatoes.
Yeah.
What's GB&D? Is that a local place here?
Yeah. Is that who they collabed with?
Well, GB&D. It says GB&D fries.
Oh, I don't know.
And Mandarina Bavaria hops.
Yeah.
Oh, collaboration with Fontaflora.
Fontaflora.
Which I believe they were also there yesterday as well.
They were.
Yeah.
And I've had their beers before. Thanks to Tavor. Probably a good 3-4 years ago, I got a few cans from Fontaflora.
Nick's Tavor code will be right here if you want to send Nick some beers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and how was that beer?
It was great. It was super perfect beer to start out the day.
Yeah.
Well, mashed taters after I just had some hash browns.
You also had gravy.
It was kind of a breakfast beer.
Yeah, it was great.
Good breakfast beer,
This would have been an
100%.
excellent beer to have at Waffle House.
All right.
Waffle House, if you're watching this right now, please get the license to serve some beer at Waffle Houses, at least in South Carolina. Source your beer from 8th State Brewing, the mashed taters lager.
It's as simple as that.
Hey, just have one beer on tap, support a local brewery.
And give Nick 1% of the proceeds as a finder's fee.
I'll take
beer.
you know, like a Waffle House meal once a week for free.
We'll have them build you a Waffle House.
Will that be like a home made out of waffles?
Yeah, a homemade. Yeah, a house made out of waffles.
That's
it will be a
dangerous.
Waffle
I
House.
will eat myself out of house and home.
All right, get out. Get out. Stop. That's it, everybody. That's the end of the show. That's it. Nick threw a goddamn anchor out of a race car. So 8th State, it was wonderful. We were there just briefly. We each had one. We drank them slow. We just really kind of hung back and soaked in the sun and the environment. And it was good. It was really a brilliant recharge. And I thought there was no better way for us to go.
Yes.
And then we went from there and we went a little bit around Greenville.
Drove around in circles a bit.
For things to open up.
Well, we were.
Before things were open,
there a touch early.
Checked out Floor Field where the Greenville Drive.
I was going to say, and tell us about that because it's kind of a cool story.
Yeah, minor league team here feeds into the Red Sox and have a mini Fenway Park right here in Greenville. It's beautiful.
And it is
amazing.
When he says a mini Fenway Park, it's like it's just a slightly smaller version of Fenway Park.
Complete with a green monster.
Yeah, with a little green monster.
Little green monster.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just a beautiful park, and Greenville's so well laid out. It's just a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Which everyone agrees. That's everyone in the world's moving here.
Yes.
But it's nice. So yeah, we were able to check that out and just drive a little bit down River Falls with the suspension bridge that crosses over the trail and the river that runs, the Reedy River that runs right through downtown.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Found our way to the Greenville Exchange.
Yeah.
The Greenville Beer Exchange.
Now the Greenville Beer Exchange. Give me your first impression when you walk in.
Y'all thought you were back in another liquor store.
Yeah, it's like the tiniest little liquor store that's got all kinds of
crazy beers.
Yeah, and it's like
some great.
All right,
beers.
what are we doing here?
Good. That's it.
You're not looking.
We grabbing a 4Z in a bottle and out the door. What's
go back
happening?
out.
We're going out to the park with a hobo bag. What are we doing? Right?
He's brought us back to another spot like this.
Because I'm here for it, man. They had good beers, so one of these brown paper bag. Let's go.
Yeah,
down the alley.
But when you go in that back room, it's just mind blowing.
It's just you kind of go around and suddenly there's this area.
Yeah.
The whole tap room.
Nice kind of like the whole tap room, just nice kind of darkened area.
Yes.
I love it. Some nice stained glass art that they have there.
Arcade game.
Some old arcade games.
Yeah. Does it feel to you like you've stepped into a monastery?
Totally. Stained glass.
A little bit. Yeah. They actually had a old pew there. It was one of the benches for some tables.
Yes.
And below that pew was the big, tall stained glass windows that they had, which on the other side of that wall was the little board member meeting room that he referred to it as when we had a little interview with him.
Which you'll have seen by now in one of the interviews from one of the breaks. You'll have seen that's the room we're in.
Yes.
Such a cool spot.
Very cool spot.
And he said that look, this was the board, the place that was there before them.
It was a little startup company.
Some startup. They were doing maybe an app or something like that.
Yeah.
Something tech. The room we did the interview in was their boardroom. And then outside,
tap room was all the cubicle space.
Cubicle.
Interesting.
Bullpen is what was going on there.
Much better place now. It was a much better place now.
You can't even imagine it.
Yeah.
So that was
but at the same time, when that company existed there, the bottle shop was still there.
Oh, really?
So I honestly, I would have loved to work for that company because then I got the bottle shop. Like,
that's
it. You've been fired quick.
Here, cash my paycheck and take all my money.
Yeah, you're like,
or maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why his startup failed.
Instead of
put it all into beer.
I'll take script for the bottle shop at the company store there, boss. Yeah.
But yeah, what an amazing selection. I think.
I'm going to throw it out here. The best barley wine I've ever had in my life.
Oh, that was that place. If you're looking for barley wines, that is the place to go have.
But I think that's not standard. I think that's something they were doing.
He was doing
now.
this week. Yeah.
Oh,
this
okay.
Week.
Barley wine week. I'm sure he always has one.
I loved how they had the menu set up. Like, so they barley wine, and then they list off like 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then these are also barley wine, and they list off like 3 more.
Yeah.
And then over on the next side, even more barley wine.
Yeah.
They list off 4 more.
Oh, yeah.
It's seriously all barley wine. And they list off 4 more.
And it really was for the most
part. They had
barley wine.
1 Hefeweizen.
But yeah, they had a crazy amount of barley wine here. I'm looking. It's like 16. Different ones.
Well, the number 21 is what I had.
The Cru de Gorgorov.
Yes.
I had that just before we left. I thought we were sticking around a little bit longer, and I got one. I'm glad that I got to try it before we left.
Best barley wine I've ever had. It was amazing.
Did you hear that, everybody? The guy who didn't like barley wine just a few months ago. Best barley wine he's ever had. Well, I mean, so he hasn't. But he did drink quite a few barley wines yesterday.
I had like 400 barley wines. I consider myself an expert.
Barley wines.
It was not like Robitussin. So
it's not like Robitussin.
Well, it sounds like it sounds like with Zach.
Yeah.
The guy that we talked to at Beer Exchange. He's a bigger fan of the English style barley wines.
English style.
Which
what do they say?
Thinner.
In Maris Otter we trust, right?
Yes.
That's what they say.
Yes.
Maris Otter, which is a malt, which is more of the English style versus the American style. Anybody who's into home brewing, Maris Otter is one of the malts, and that's what they say there. In Maris Otter we trust, the English style.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the English style is going to be thinner and less coating feeling on your tongue, which is
less
what you're
cloying, less syrupy, which is what I did not like about barley wines prior to this grand adventure.
Right.
Yeah.
This morning.
Prior to this weekend, really. Yeah. But it was very good. Robert, you.
Guess what I got?
I did. I'll never guess it. Yes, he did.
It might have been hazy. I don't know.
It was a touch hazy.
Yeah.
It looked very good. Yeah. And when we all got in there, we were all a little slow, a little dragging ass because we've been through a lot, people. All right.
Yeah.
We've been through quite a bit.
Things we've seen.
Can't even tell you on this.
I've had visions.
That's right. I'll never forget nightmares. But we were all still a little bit slow, even after that little rounder that we had over at 8th State. We were all still a little bit slow. So I got a little with a 2-ounce pour of that barley wine, and Robert went to a hazy because that's his warm blanket. You know what I mean? Makes him feel comfortable. That's his chicken soup, all right, and grilled cheese sandwich. And Billy, what did you go to?
I had the Lager Noir.
Lager Noir.
Right.
Because Billy's fancy.
That's right. Fancy like that. Fancy like Applebee's.
That's right. That's right.
Fancy like Applebee's.
Yeah, no, that's their tagline, I think.
That was from Low Tide Brewing, which is in Johns Island,
yeah,
which is right outside of Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes.
So I love Johns Island, James Island, Charleston, and every island down there. But yes, and it was the easiest lager, I think, to drink. It was. I love a dark beer anyway, and really good and beautiful. I just kept looking at it. And have a beautiful photograph of it.
What was Zach saying? He was talking about kind of the trend and the way things are going. He was talking about a move kind of away from the hazies.
Well, yeah, hazies and IPAs in general. I mean, not that they're going to go away.
They're not going anywhere.
Well, thank
They're not going anywhere.
They're not.
But I'm inclined to agree with him that things will shift. Because
as they do.
As with any, when a market gets heavily saturated with something in particular, and people eventually grow, a lot of people will grow tired of it.
Sure.
You'll still have its, heavy followers.
Contract.
Exactly.
Contract.
I feel like it could go, back to the barley line ways.
Call Julio and let him know good news. The barley wines are back on. You call. Julio is here. Lamented, right? The old days of the barley wine festivals, and those are gone because it faded.
Yeah.
But the barley wines are back on. They're coming around again. Those and the Crispy Boys, right?
Yeah.
Because you can either knock down 11 or 12 Crispy Boys, or 2 or 3 of the barley wines.
Which I learned last night, or was it earlier today? That
time doesn't matter anymore, Nick.
Doesn't matter.
After that 24.4, time is broken.
Yes. That New Groove, I guess, also puts on a lager festival in June called Crispy Fest.
Yeah.
Speaking of Crispy Boys.
There you go.
So
there's a chance.
I don't know about you, but I'll definitely come on back.
Yeah, not me. not me because
yes.
My family will be expanding. Right around the time.
Speaking of expanding and contracting.
Yeah, expanding and contracting. My family will be expanding.
No contracting.
Yeah, no contracting. Oh, God, let's say things.
Contractions will be involved.
There will be contractions before the expansion. Very good. You see that? Wordsmiths, everyone here. So, nobody in New Groove consulted with me before timing this festival.
It's okay.
I'll forgive them.
You'll be there in spirit.
I'll be there in spirits.
In spirits.
Yes. Nick.
And then after Beer Exchange, we walked down to Fireforge.
Fireforge.
And we spoke to John at Fireforge.
Which you'll have seen the interview.
That was a great little conversation.
Fun.
Such an awesome guy, and such a wealth of experience that guy has in different fields. He was talking about he was doing media journalism before.
He did media journalism before.
And but no, awesome guy. Great to talk with him. And we asked, and he's just like, drops everything, like, yep, come on, let's go.
100%.
And I'm like, literally lines of people and everything. And I'm like, this guy's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But no, I wish
there.
Yeah, I wish we could have stuck around a bit longer, but we were a little time crunched. But
we had a reservation.
We're definitely going back. So
we'll go back there. Good beers, good people, cool atmosphere. You'll see on social media. We have pictures and things like that. We will absolutely try to talk to them more because they had some fun stuff going on. Then we went to, what was this place that we went for late lunch?
Tupelo Honey.
Tupelo Honey. Yeah, which I'd never heard of before. I think I was the only one who's never been there, right?
And then
all of you
he had told us, the week before, and I'm like, man, where have I heard that before? And I looked it up, and I saw that they have some locations kind of scattered across the U.S. And one of them happened to be in Denver, and that's where Monica and I had eaten at, 5 years ago when we went to visit Denver.
Yeah.
Great food then, and great food now.
Oh yeah. What did we all? Oh man.
We ended up kind of.
We had grits again.
Well, weird. We tried to keep it lighter because it was the middle of the day. We were going to eat again later, and so
this was a different form of grits.
I don't think we kept it lighter.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Well, it was lighter than a lot of the other.
It was lighter than what I was going to get, which was the chicken and waffles. It was lighter than that.
So it was a smoked salmon grits cake.
Smoked salmon grit cake.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
With just a couple fried eggs on the side.
Fried eggs.
This grits cake, the only way I figured that they probably made it is they took like a little rectangular pan and poured in the grits and then froze it.
Probably.
And then took it back out and then let it kind of come up in temperature and then deep fry it so you get this nice kind of solid.
Hold it together in form.
Yes.
It was crispy all the way around.
Yeah.
We started with biscuits.
Oh.
Blueberry jam.
The biscuits and blueberry jam.
We're on the blueberries.
The blueberries, for sure.
And as we've talked about, I'm not a jam person, right? I'm just not. For years and years, I don't do jam. Really.
It's not your jam.
It's not my jam. Thank you, Nick. This blueberry jam was delightful. It was delightful on these biscuits. They were really good biscuits, nice and crispy all the way around. It was wonderful. I really liked it. Nice
then
little
some
starter.
more pimento cheese.
Oh, of course, the pimento cheese. Yeah.
Nachos.
Yeah. Very good.
Was it? They were tortilla chips.
Yep, tortilla chips. Yeah.
The salmon was delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, the cold smoked salmon, always good. That's one of my favorites, a cold smoked salmon. It's always going to be, it's just nice, it's soft, it's a little bit creamy almost, a little bit salty. In there with plenty of capers, which I love. Don't ever skimp on the capers. If a dish has capers, put them in there, right? I mean, just that briny delight, put it in. Shaved fennel root.
Yes.
Or fennel bulb. I think may have been lightly, not pickled, but I think they may have salted it and drained it a touch. And then they also had...
maybe it had a glaze of slight vinegars.
I feel like it did. Yeah, but very good. And then a couple of over easy eggs, beautiful, rich, golden yolks. I mean, just really delightful eggs on there. And it was just so good. You crack that yolk open, drizzle it on top, and go to town on it. It was wonderful.
And Robert had, for sure. What did you end up?
I had the anti-Southern. I had tortilla soup.
Tortilla soup,
which is actually really good.
Yeah.
For the spot.
And no grits.
No grits.
No grits.
Yeah, it was definitely absolutely perfect. I thought everything was wonderful. And then we, what did we round it out with? We came back, we rested for a minute. And then we hit up.
We went back to
Delaney's. Couple of beers.
Full circle.
Just keeping it simple. Couple of beers, some bratwurst, some wings, mozzarella sticks, just your Irish
coffee.
Irish
coffees. And that was it. And that's how we've wrapped it up so far. And then we're here. We're here.
Back to Julie's place.
Telling you guys all about it. And we're going to,
What a weekend.
We'll probably talk more about it in segments.
We may fuck around a little bit tomorrow. Who knows? We don't fly till 4, so we'll do something. But, I mean, look, what a full weekend we had. And we barely scratched the surface.
Great things going on in this great state of South Carolina.
100%. Even this corner of it that we were in. There's so much going on that we could come back out and spend weeks here. We could. And not see it all.
It's going to take me a few trips, that's for sure.
Multiple. There's a lot going on out here. If you haven't been, come out. See Billy while you're out here.
That's right.
100%. And I have to say, there's so much to do here. This should absolutely be a stop on your hobby trail.
Totally.
No two ways about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good beer, good food, good people. Just a good time.
Amazing people.
Yeah.
And I know we're about out of time, but just thank you both so much for coming out here. Thank you all three for coming out.
Thank you for being our city guide.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And throwing in those little bits, history and everything.
It's been my pleasure.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been amazing. We're glad we were able to come out and spend time with you. Everything else aside, beer festivals, breweries, all of that, we're glad we were able to come spend time with you, Billy, because we love you and we love having you. Robert, obviously we love you, and it was great that we were all able to come together. Gentlemen, any last words?
It's been a great weekend. That's all I got to say. 24/4.
You know what, Robert? And that's why I appreciate you.
24/4.
Well, gentlemen, with that, the only thing left to do, what do we remind everybody, Billy?
Always say yes to the happy ending.
Always say yes.
Always say yes.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. See you soon.
The preceding podcast was produced by Sequoia Productions, LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you enjoyed this show and you're looking for more, or even if you're looking for something a little different, check out the other amazing shows by Sequoia Productions, wherever you get your podcasts, or on sequoia.com.
Happy trails to Bruce until we drink again. Happy trails to Bruce. Keep sharing with your friends. Who cares about which IPA tastes better? ABV are just a couple letters. Happy trails to Bruce until we drink again.
And just straight up black coffee.
There you go.
Wait, they had coffee?
Yeah, they had coffee.
Oh, son of a...
So we all need it.
And see, that's how far gone I was, and how just donut tunnel vision. Had I had some coffee though, like that would have pepped me up for sure.
Donut tunnel vision or donut hole vision? Donut hole vision, maybe.
But they weren't donut holes. They were just mini
looking
donuts.
through the hole.
The hole, I was looking, yes.
All right, look, I fucked the pun up, all right? All right.
No.
You guys,
no, what really fucked it up was that donut holes are being called holes when they're not really holes.
No, they're not.
But they come from the holes.
Yeah,
they're the balls from the holes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Balls from the holes.
Robert, you had you had some of these fluffy balls in your mouth? No?
I did.
Yeah? That's wrong.
I didn't know where to go with that.
That's not. Take two. Robert, you had a donut.
I did. Thank you, Billy, for giving me one of your donuts.